Today we're diving into something pretty mind-blowing, a cosmological framework from the Qur'an that suggests our universe isn't just one single thing, but a dynamic, dual-field system. Let's get right into it. And it all kicks off with a question that has modern cosmologists kind of scratching their heads. Exactly how fast is our universe expanding? Now, it sounds like a simple question, right? But the answer has opened up one of the biggest paradoxes in physics today. And this right here is the problem. It's called the Hubble tension. You see, when scientists measure the expansion using light from the very early universe, that's the cosmic microwave background, they get a speed of about 67 kilometers per second per megaparsec. But when they measure it using the stars and galaxies closer to us in our local universe, they get a faster speed, 74. Now get this, both measurements are incredibly precise and valid, but they contradict each other. So which one is right? Well, what if they're both right? This is where source material takes a fascinating turn, pivoting from this modern paradox to a Quranic perspective. It suggests the universe is actually governed by not one, but two distinct divine commands that set everything in motion. Okay, so let's break this down. There are two commands. The first, from verse 21:30, talks about a primordial separation, a splitting apart. This is said to give rise to what's called the word field. Think of it as the foundational layer of reality, pure energy, light, and signal. Then, there's a second command, from verse 41:11, a directive for things to come together, to form and coalesce. And this creates the book field, the physical universe we can see and touch, with all its structure and matter. So here's the crucial connection. The Quranic framework appears to map these two fields directly onto the Hubble tension. The word field, which is like the early universe of light and energy, perfectly corresponds to that slower CMB measurement of 67. And the book field, the universe of physical structure right around us, corresponds to the faster measurement of 74. So it's not a contradiction at all. It's just two different phases of one single creation. But this idea of a dual-field universe has another absolutely profound implication. I mean, if the universe has two different expansion speeds, could it also have two different clocks? This framework suggests that, yeah, time itself isn't universal. It's actually relative to whichever field you're in. And amazingly, the Quran mentions two very distinct timescales. Verse 22:47 talks about a day that equals 1,000 of our years. This is linked to the book field, the world of earthly events and human history. But then, verse 74 describes a day that equals 50,000 years. This one is associated with angelic movements and cosmic commands, the word field. So there it is, two fields, two clocks. This theme of duality, of twos, it just keeps going. It seems to extend into a universal law that governs existence in both fields, a constant repeating cycle of life, then death, and then resurrection. So in the book field, the realm of physical history, this cycle is shown through the stories of prophetic figures. Life is represented by Yahya, or John the Baptist. Death is seen in the story of King Suleiman, or Solomon, whose death actually revealed a hidden truth. And resurrection is beautifully exemplified by Musa, or Moses, who was revived after collapsing before the divine. And now, check this out. That exact same pattern is mirrored in the word field, the realm of revelation. Life is embodied by Isa, or Jesus, described as the word that gives life. Death, which here represents a period of concealment or waiting, is associated with Amma, another name for the prophet. And resurrection is found in the final prophet, Muhammad, whose revelation is called a spirit of our command, literally reviving the divine message for all time. So why does any of this cosmic stuff matter to you and me? Because this universal pattern, this rhythm of life, death, and return, isn't just some grand external process happening out there in space. The source argues that it's the fundamental operating system for existence itself. And that means it's also encoded directly into the quantum nature of our own souls. This brings us to a really powerful concept, the bi-spinner soul. This idea frames the soul not as some static, single thing, but as a dynamic quantum system. It's constantly oscillating, vibrating between two fundamental states, two possible alignments, a lot like the universe it lives in. And these are the two states. The soul at peace, the nafs al-mutma'inna, which is aligned with light and truth. And the soul that pulls towards wrongdoing, the nafs al-ammara, aligned with fire and falsehood. You can almost think of one as a particle of reality, grounded in what's real, and the other as an antiparticle of illusion. It's like this cosmic struggle is happening right inside us with every choice we make. This dual framework even shows up in the divine attributes of mercy. Raḥmān, the most gracious, is seen as the external, all-encompassing wave of mercy that sustains everything, while Raḥīm, the most merciful, is the internal particle of that mercy, a focused point that lands right inside the heart. But in the end, all these dualities, the two fields, the two clocks, the two states of the soul, they all originate from one single unifying source. They all go back to the singular divine command that simply says, be. And everything in all its beautiful complexity springs into existence. So the big takeaway here is this. The universe is presented as a system built on profound duality. We've got two fields, two speeds, two clocks, but this isn't a sign of contradiction. No, it's the signature of a single, perfectly balanced creation, all coming from one source, because, as another verse says, he created everything with due proportion. And that really leaves us with a final thought, right from the source itself. This framework isn't just a description of the cosmos. It's an invitation to see the signs that are woven into the very fabric of reality, waiting there for anyone who's willing to stop and reflect.